Chelsea Football Club clearly have a problem on their hands. Enzo Fernandez. We need to discuss it because a lot of fans have got on his back and it's about time to move him out the team for Romeo Lavia. That's what I keep getting told. Levi Colwill and Wesley Fofana have international duty checks on their fitness. It looks like one's coming back and one is staying. I'm going to explain to you what's happened. Cesare Casadei spoke out and basically said he wasn't very happy under Maurizio Pochettino and has also explained why he decided to stay at Chelsea this year rather than going on loan. It's actually very interesting. And then some non-Chelsea related news that we're going to talk about first. We're going to talk about Thomas Tuchel going potentially to Manchester United and what has gone wrong there. Because the reality is if Thomas Tuchel goes to Manchester United become a credible force for top 4 again. If Ten Hag stays, I've got no doubts that they're not going to be anywhere near top 4. So let's get into it. But before we get started, you walk into the house, the first thing you do, you go and wash your hands. Because it's the first thing you have to do on the Kavkas View. You go hit that like button. 1,000 likes is the quickest way for you lot to support the channel. Subscribe if you're new over here. We're super close to 37,000. I said that yesterday and we didn't get over the barrier. So can we do it this time? So I want to talk about the big news in world football right now, because the reality is Thomas Tuchel going to Manchester United not only impacts Manchester United, it impacts Chelsea Football Club in a very indirect way. Thomas Tuchel, in my opinion, is a Chelsea legend. If he's not a legend, he's a cult hero. He won us the Champions League, he's won us the Club World Cup, and he won us the Super Cup. And arguably, it was my favorite period of being a Chelsea fan because I loved the team, I loved the manager, and I absolutely loved the direction that we were going in as a club. We felt like a big deal. We felt like we belonged on the top table. Thomas Tuchel left, has gone to Bayern Munich, and a lot has occurred. However, Manchester United under Ten Hag at the moment is very reminiscent, in my opinion, of what Chelsea would have been under Maurizio Pochettino. In the league, they're very inconsistent. And more importantly, they play in a very old-fashioned way, right? The defensive line is deep, the players press high, and all of a sudden you have a lot of space in the midfield, so teams run through you. This happened to Chelsea a lot. The only difference between Manchester United and Chelsea, we had Moises Caicedo and Conor Gallagher eating up a lot of ground and making sure that some of these gaps were plugged. However, even they couldn't keep up with it. With their athleticism, with their intelligence, with their drive, they could not do it. And Manchester United, with Kobbie Mainoo, Casemiro, and even Ugarte this year, are really struggling, especially Kobbie Mainoo. He's being left out there, hung out to dry. So now, with that under the assumption, and if Ten Hag goes, which I think he should, because I don't think the 2 trophies should mask what is actually happening at their club, they're not getting better. They are going to regress and maybe win a cup or 2 in the upcoming years. What will happen if Thomas Tuchel comes in, as is being reported, is the following 3 things, in my opinion. Number 1, Tuchel will develop a system for them. Straight away, out of the back, they're going to have a well-executed, well-oiled machine. That within 6 games, we're going to see the following. They're going to have a compact defense with 3 centre-halves, 2 midfielders that can manipulate the ball but are going to stay tight, 2 wing-backs that are going to push forward and support the front 3. What's also going to happen is players that are experienced are going to buy in. And he's going to develop them by giving them a platform to perform to the best of their ability. Bruno, Rashford, Mount, De Ligt, Mazraoui, Harry Maguire, they're all going to look competent again. They're all going to look great. And why? Because they're going to be put in a system that accentuates their talents and makes sure that they don't concede too many goals, so they're going to start nicking goals with individual brilliance. And for me, this is very dangerous for Chelsea Football Club because, as I said before, a good Manchester United means Chelsea have got another competitor for that top 4 position. And finally, what does Tuchel define? Tuchel's a winner. Tuchel will go and win things. He won things at Bayern Munich, he won things at Chelsea, he won things at PSG, and if he goes to Manchester United, he's going to win things. Why is he going to win things? Because he's got a proven track record, and not only does he have a proven track record, his ideas are still entrenched with modern football as well as demands of old school managers. He will demand players stay positionally secure, but at the same time give them room to go be expansive in the final third with results-driven play. They're going to be a good team. I really hope they choose to stick with Ten Hag, or if they go for another manager, it's not Thomas Tuchel, give Ruud van Nistelrooy and we'll roll our dice with that. But now, let's get back to the Chelsea news. I think we need to talk about Enzo Fernandez and the little predicament that we're in at the moment. I think there's a lot of people in this fan base that either adore Enzo Fernandez or think he's absolutely horrible. I'm more towards the player that I think he's a very good player. I think he's got a lot of skill sets that a lot of players in the league don't have, and the things he has you can't teach. The alternative view is, though, I think he is not an athlete, and I'll explain myself. I think his biggest weaknesses are he's not an athlete, so he can't get around the pitch in the Premier League, and he gets exposed when we're high up the pitch, teams hit us in transition, and Enzo is trying to sprint back, but it looks like he's jogging back. He literally reminds me of Jorginho whenever we would get caught in transition, and then the meme would go around, oh, look at Jorginho trying to run. Furthermore, I think Enzo Fernandez's body language and attitude at times really rubs people the wrong way. Enzo is very lethargic, very lazy at times in getting back into position, and really has an attitude of a player where it's like, I'll let this one go, I'll take this move off. You can't do that in the Premier League. You can't do that at the highest level. Alternatively, though, I think Enzo's passing range is absolutely unreal, especially when you give him time and space. He will destroy teams. Furthermore, I think Enzo is a very good combative midfielder. And when I say combative, I mean when things are tight and compact, he gets stuck in, he wins challenges. The only problem is when there's space and someone can knock the ball around him and just can basically make it into a physicality battle rather than an IQ of where he knows where to stand. This is why I'm certain if he was in a midfield for Tuchel, he would have been absolutely amazing. Because if you remember, Jorginho was incredible with Kante and with Kovacic. And you're not going to tell me that Kovacic is this unique player that screams out loud and is completely different. So I'm just going to be really honest and very transparent with you guys. We need to be open and honest with the analysis on Jorginho, on Enzo. The reason I'm saying this is because 105 million is not his fault. It's never been his fault. It's not going to be his fault. He didn't want that to be paid for it. However, he is going to be judged on that barometer. And if we're going to judge him on that barometer, we have to judge everyone else on that barometer. And guess what? They're all going to fail. Declan Rice will fail, Caicedo will fail, Enzo will fail, and Lavia will fail. But we need to be open and honest and understand the player that we have. Has he been fantastic? No. Has he been hopeless? No. Can people be annoyed at his second half performance this weekend? 100%. But let's not make this a case that he has been absolutely shocking every single game that he's been at Chelsea, because it's a lie. When it comes to Chelsea Football Club, two players at the moment have been very good this season. When it comes to Levi Colwill and Wesley Fofana have both had outstanding starts to their partnership as a combined unit. Levi Colwill has all of a sudden gone from a player that isn't rated by the fan base, people telling me he's overrated, to, oh my God, can you see the passing that this gentleman has? And Wesley Fofana is a gentleman that hasn't played football consistently, but, and this is the key, but this man has now slowly started to build up his pace, build up his aggressiveness, and the timing is coming so that he's being that proactive defender that he always was. So, what has happened? Both players have been called up to international duty. It's come out now that Levi Colwill has a little hip issue and the England medical staff are looking over him, and this is a precautionary decision. They're looking to send him back to Chelsea. They want him basically to have 2 weeks off and then get ready for that Liverpool game. This is music to my ears. Levi Colwill has played a lot of football, and this is just England and Chelsea being very responsible in the way they're handling a player that had injury problems last year. And for me, this is very, very important. This is super, super important because he's too talented to burn out. We don't need that to happen to him. Furthermore, with Fabrice Hawkins talking now, he's saying that Wesley Fofana has had issues in his knee, his shin for the last 3 weeks. The 3 weeks have identified that he's been playing through the pain. The French squad have reviewed it. They think he's fine. He's going to stay with the squad and he's going to be there. For me, what I'm praying is he stays there. He develops as much as he can into that French squad, but doesn't play too much football. I don't want him playing an unreal amount of minutes. I know he's going to miss the game against Liverpool because he's suspended, but I don't want him picking up any injuries. For me, that would be the worst thing to happen to Wesley Fofana at this moment in time. The player has finally started to regain their fitness, started to regain that full element of his support system of believing in his body. So it's imperative that he comes back, develops properly, and has a sustained period of staying fit. That's just my personal opinion. Now let's talk about Cesare Casadei. Cesare Casadei is a very interesting player, right? First of all, I don't know how to pronounce his name properly. Cesar or Cesare. I've heard two different ways from two different people. If I ever get to meet him, I'll definitely ask him. So sorry, bro. I don't mean it in a disrespectful manner. However, he is a player that has come to Chelsea, had a year, 6 months at Leicester, came back to Chelsea afterwards from loan and wasn't used. Basically, he was getting charity minutes from Mauricio Pochettino. Pochettino used him in every which way other than actually giving him meaningful minutes. What happened after that? Cesare has now decided to stay at Chelsea, and he's said this openly. He said, I decided to stay at Chelsea. I spoke to Enzo Maresca. Maresca knows me. I know his system. And we decided it would be best for my development to stay. He also went on to say that he's proud to be a Chelsea player. It's his dream to play for this level of a club. And furthermore, it's a new style for him. He knows exactly what Enzo Maresca wants, but he's going to have to play in a deeper defensive midfield role. In the 8 role, he's allowed to take more risks. He's allowed to make more darting runs. And in the long run, that will benefit him. However, in this current system, he has to be more accomplished and more disciplined. Otherwise, they will get punished. And for me, the fact that he knows this and he's developing a different side of his game in the long run will make him a better player. Because if you think about it, right? A 6 back in the day was basically an 8. Someone that can do both sides of the game. He's already good at running and crushing the box. Now if he learns this side of the game with his tackling and his reading, when he goes back to being an 8, he's going to be well-versed, well-rounded, and a better player overall. He also mentioned how he wasn't very happy under Mauricio Pochettino and he didn't get the opportunities he wanted, but this year he had no doubts that he wanted to stay. For me, this is normal. I don't even think he's being disrespectful. I don't think he's firing shots at Poch. And I'm not even going to lie, I think Poch mistreated him. But I don't blame Poch because Poch needed to win games and he went for the players that he believed were going to help him win games in the now. Casadei did not have the repertoire and didn't have the faith of the manager clearly to be given an opportunity because other players were given an opportunity. Mudryk was given multiple. Noni was given multiple. Carney Chukwuemeka was integrated into the squad when he was fit. So it's not like Poch didn't want to give youngsters a chance, or at least he gave select youngsters a chance. It is what it is, guys. But this was the Kavkas View. Let me know in the comments below, did you enjoy this segment on Manchester United? Because I think during this international break, I'm going to expand my horizon a little bit more, speak about more different football clubs, because come April, I might be finishing my final exam and becoming qualified. So I'm going to have time to create a new channel, and the new channel is going to be football related, everything but Chelsea. And then you can let me know if you want Kavkas View too, and then we can grow together and build a new community of just football. But I'll always have my daily thing that I do with Chelsea that I love. So let me know your thoughts. Peace out. I'm out. Have a lovely day. Make sure you subscribe. It's the best way to support the channel. Bye.